easy subject. My God, but I've been praying for weeks now for families. And there's some things that the Lord is just reminding me, even as Apostle Randy says that word, there's some stuff that we can do. Because even if other people are guilty, we are knowledgeable of love, the love of Christ. So, my God, the last thing he charged us with was to pay somebody else's debt with love. My God, and the Lord said, that's for you. He gave it to me, and I'm eating it, and I thank God for it. Sir, we are going to pay somebody else's debt with love. My God, no matter how tough it might be, no matter how bad they may have hurt, no matter how wicked they might have acted, no matter how much in our eyes we can see how wrong they are, because we understand what the love of God is. We're going to pay somebody else's debt with love. I thank God for that word. My God, if you turn briefly with me, as I see people leaving, folks, and feel they have to go if you must. My God, with the word of God, there is a word from the Lord, and this one right here, my God, it matches, it links up, it equals up, but it's also a reminder to us that God is thinking about us, y'all. That he's thinking about us. I'm going to read 5 scriptures out of 2 Samuel chapter 9. You can keep your seats. We do honor the Lord and honor his word. And it says, and David said, is there yet anybody left out of the house of Saul that I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake? If you remember, David and Jonathan were really, really good friends. So David at this time in this scripture was looking for anybody that might have been left in Saul and Jonathan's family. If you remember, Saul and Jonathan were killed in a war, and then it was time for David to be king. So now that David is king, he's looking for any of Jonathan's seed so he can honor. In verse 2 it says, and there was the house of Saul, a servant left. So one of their servants was left named Ziba. So David called this servant up to him. He called him to the ark, and he said, are you Ziba, Saul's servant? And Ziba answered, yes, I'm him. So the king said, is there anybody left out of the house of Saul that I can show kindness to God unto them? And Ziba said to the king, Jonathan had a son. Jonathan had a son. And his name was Mephibosheth. Jonathan had a son. He was lame in his feet. And the king said unto him, well, where is he? And Ziba said to the king, he's in the house of Machir. He's in Lodabar. Keep that in your mind. He's in Lodabar. In verse 5, then King David sent, and he fetched him from the house of Machir, from Lodabar. And I'll rest right there. I'll rest right, well, let me go to 7 so you know how it ends. And David said to him, fear not, for I will surely show you kindness for Jonathan your father's sake. And I will restore you all the land that Saul your father, and you shall eat the bread of my table continually. And if you just stay with me, if you keep your minds, if you keep your heart linked on this word of God for just a few moments, I give honor to God. I praise God. Father, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in my sight. I honor my husband. I honor the people of God. And I want each of you to know right now that we are sinning. We are the ones left. We are the ones that God is sending for. And I'm telling you, no matter where you are in your life, we heard folks testify about dealing and battling with depression, dealing and battling with things going on. We heard folks cry out because they couldn't get the words together to say exactly what was going on. We heard people reminding us that everything was going to be all right. We heard a lot of things go on tonight. And each of us, I mean, if we sat down and just really talk, really open up, would probably be shocked at one another's stories. But here in this scripture, we had David, who is now the king, who was thinking about a past relationship that he had with Jonathan, who was a man of God. Because of this relationship that David had with Jonathan, he remembered that he made a promise. Back in 1 Samuel, he told Jonathan, while Jonathan was living, Brother Mark, he told Jonathan, look, that I love you so much that I'm going to take care of your seed. If you haven't, I'm going to keep this promise to make sure that I look out for you. That promise was so tight. And Jesus, Apostle just said, look, God sent his only son, y'all. He sent his son to vouch for us, to forgive us, to bring us back in right standing with our Father. I want to remind us tonight that no matter how low we feel like we might be, no matter how difficult things feel like they might be, no matter how much something seems like it's so out of whack that we really can't put the pieces together, that there's a reminder tonight that God will send for you in that very moment when you think, Brother Mark, that you're just about to lose it. God will send for you the same way he sent for Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth did not even know that he was being looked for. Sometimes we won't even know that God has somebody that he's sending down our path. We won't even know. Look, we'll think I just PCS to Hawaii. I didn't know I was going to the newcomers brief to run into Apostle Randy, who was going to talk to me, Sister Tanaka. I didn't even know that there was going to be a man of God standing there who would somehow give me the things that would change my life. I didn't know that when I came to Hawaii, I was going to meet such a lovely mother that's in Mother Corona. There would be a lifelong friendship. I didn't know that God was sending for me, Kelly. I didn't know that. Mephibosheth was sitting there in Lodabar. And all night long, I just kept thinking, Lodabar, Lodabar. And then I kept thinking, lower the bar. Lower the bar. I was like, okay, Lord, what you saying with that? Lower the bar. Lodabar was this place. And the Bible talked about it didn't really even break down what that city meant. But that city was a place where Mephibosheth, who we're talking about here, who was the only one left in Saul's family, he had gone there to hide out. Remember, it mentioned briefly that he was lame in both of his feet. So the story about him, when his father was being killed, when the house was being raided, there was a caretaker that he had. He was only 5 years old. He was a little kid. He had a caretaker. And because she thought that danger was coming to him, she picked him up in a hurry, Brother Terry. And she started running. Because she was trying to take care of him, she started running with him, Apostle.
Yes, ma'am.
And when she ran, she tripped on something and fell. And when she fell, because she was carrying him, his feet became lame. So it wasn't even his fault that he was in this present condition. But because he was in this present condition, he found himself in his old age going to hide out in a place called Lodabar. So nobody would know that he was there. Nobody would expect anything of him. Nobody would want him to do anything that was out of character. Nobody would be searching for him or looking for him to find him, to kill him like they killed the rest of his family. He was hiding out in Lodabar. How many of us are hiding out? Not in the city Lodabar, but in Lower the Bar. How many of us are hiding out in this place where the Lord is calling us to come higher, but somehow we just keep lowering the bar? I keep finding myself, Apostle Randy, in this place of comfort. I keep finding myself sitting at this table playing cards in this place of Lodabar because nobody expects anything more of me here. They don't really know who I am here. So I have lowered the bar. Even though I'm of a family of royalty, my father, my grandfather was a king, right? I heard the Bible say I'm royal priesthood and a holy nation, but I have found myself hiding out under a lower bar. I found myself hiding out. I found myself cussing and fussing when I should be speaking words that edify and build up. I found myself, Sister Chanel, cutting up and carrying on at work so nobody will ask me about church. Nobody will ask me about Jesus because I haven't been reading enough to truly tell anybody if they did ask. So I find myself in a city lower than the bar. I'm living under the bar. I'm living in a place hiding out. I'm a Christian hiding out. But there's somebody looking for you. We lower in the bar. Some of us sitting in the very pews right now underneath, thinking that we're under the bar, thinking we're under the radar, thinking nobody sees us. But I'm telling you, David was seeking out this man of God because he knew there had to be somebody
are. We don't have time to continue hiding out.